everybody. I am Mish.
I'm Bree, and this is Chat MBTea, where we talk about life and shoot the shit. So today's episode's gonna be a lot.
A little wily.
A little messy.
Just a bit.
A little tiny bit.
A smidge.
I am just starting this episode off with a general word. One, Mom, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I know you are listening, so my apologies. I love you.
But
don't be mad. Two, if for some reason you are one of these people and you are listening, please do not contact me. We're gonna put that out there. Yeah, moving on. So our episode today is there's a difference between a bad date and a hate crime.
And unfortunately, Bree has experienced both. But fortunately for us, she lives to tell these tales for our amusement. So this is super exciting.
Okay, so also just to preface, this is not me shitting on anyone. This is just my experience from the date.
Mm-hmm.
You know, listen, not everyone is meant to be together, and that's fine. I can guarantee there's some people that probably have crazy date stories about me because I'm chaotic and unhinged, and you don't like it, too bad. If you want to tell it on your podcast, so be it. Don't be mad because I'm sharing it here.
And no contact.
You're in the graveyard. Even if you did contact me, I wouldn't know. So we'll circle back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of get into it a little bit. So, of course, some dates are awkward, some dates are just bad, and then some make you want to live a life of solidarity and become a nun. I've experienced all of them.
Mm-hmm. That you have.
Every single one. And I'm not saying there aren't good dates. I've had plenty of good dates. But it's more interesting to talk about the bad ones, let's be honest. No one wants to hear about how you're like, oh, I really connected with this person. It was very nice. You know, we had so much to talk about. Very genuine.
Me with my fiance.
Like, not that no one wants to hear about it. Like, obviously, like, I want to hear about, like, your genuine conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, for people who are listening who don't know us, they're like, I don't care if you end up happy.
No, we
want to hear
about the crazy and chaotic.
Right. So I'm here to give it to you.
Yay.
So let's start off, like, what are the characteristics of a bad date?
I think generally speaking, just like a broad overview, not anything crazy, but just, you know, vibes are off.
Yeah.
Probably like conversations not really great.
Flowing.
Yeah, it could be a little awkward or like just weird energy, you know, just vibes not vibing.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yes. Like there's no chemistry, or you're like, you know, you don't have a similar sense of humor, stuff like that. Also, when someone doesn't look like their pictures in their profile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've personally never experienced that.
I have.
Oh, you have? Oh, yeah, you have. Yes, I remember.
Yeah. That's my biggest fear, though, like on dating apps. Like, I'm terrified that someone's going to meet me and be like, you don't look like your pictures. But I feel like my pictures look like me.
You do. They do. Like, I've seen your profile. I can't say that, like, no, Bree, that's maybe don't use that picture.
Like, they're all relatively recent pictures as well. So, like.
But it's so funny to see you, like, going through these things. And it's like, that definitely looks like it was from 10 years ago.
No, my favorite is like seeing people that are like 35 and the pictures are like slightly grainy and there's like that yellow overwash. I'm like, you were 20 something in this.
Right.
I know you were 20 something
in this.
It
was like a college photo.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, you do you. Whatever works for you. I don't judge. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are just times where it doesn't work out. Maybe you want different things, whatever. And those dates are fine. We all have them. We've all experienced them. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really even talk about them that much because it was just kind of like,
yeah,
it was meh.
They happened.
It was what it was. But the other kind, the kind that you're like, I am never dating another soul in my life. I'm going to end up single and the cool aunt. That's what today is about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple. Each of them are a different type of moment, to say the least. And the funny part is, Misha's only hearing like all of it for like the first-ish time now. Like there are bits and pieces that she like knows of, like I went on these dates, but
I also block a lot of it out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these are traumatic for me as her best friend. So I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm also going to preface this with, this was a couple years ago. So I was naive. I wanted to see the good in people. I'm a cynic through and through now. It's fine. I don't see the good in anybody. Everyone's a liar. It's all good. I'm just kidding.
Damn. Tell us how you really feel.
No. I'm kidding. No, I don't think that everyone's a liar. I'm definitely a lot more cautious going on dates now. I feel like you can attest to this.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more aware, and I'm very, very selective as to who I'm going to meet up with. But besides the point, at this point in time, I was doing it for the plot. Genuinely, it was.
And we thank you for it now. At the time, I had a few heart attacks.
Yeah, everyone did. I'm so sorry. And to Alice, when you listen to this, my sincerest apologies. She lived with me and during this entire time, and I think at one point she just gave up. She was like, if she dies, she dies. Okay. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start from like, I think the least bad to the most wild story ever.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, I never even went on a date with this man.
Mm-hmm.
Never met up. Nothing. We planned a lot of dates. He was cute. Was in finance, like very like.
Wasn't he like tall?
Very tall, like tall, dark, and handsome. Like very, very. I was like, okay, and we were vibing. Like the conversation was great. The banter was bantering. It was wonderful. And there was a couple of things, but like I didn't notice them because to me they didn't stand out as inherently weird on their own.
Okay.
But looking back, I'm like, oh,
should have paid more attention to that.
But in my experience, I've never come across this in my life besides this man, so I feel like I get a pass.
Okay.
So we're talking, and he was like, oh, like you're short. He was like, you must have really tiny feet. And I was like, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, I am short and I do have really tiny feet.
Actually, yeah, have tiny feet.
And everyone makes fun of me for it. So I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Didn't think about it. I was like, okay, cool. Next day, I'm at a pedicure. He's like, what are you up to? I was like, oh, I'm getting my toes done. Like, whatever. He's like, very nice. We're still talking. Great. I get home. He's like, did you make it home okay? I was like, I did. He was like, send me a picture of your pedicure. I want to see. Again, didn't think anything of it because I've sent pictures of my pedicure to Mish. I've sent pictures to my mom. I've sent pictures to my ex-boyfriends. And it really wasn't ever a whole thing.
Yeah, I also come home from a pedicure and I'm like, hey, look at my toes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's a girly thing to do. I feel
right.
Like.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, look at this color that I got. Do you like it?
Right. It was like it was really cute. I was like, okay. So I sent him a picture of my toes and I was like, this is it. And he was like, wow, like they look so good. He was like, would you send me a picture of the soles of your feet?
Come again?
Sir? I was like, do you by chance have a foot fetish? He was like, well, yeah. Now that you asked, I do. I was like, oh, okay. Trying to be, understanding, just, he's just
trying to be understanding. Go ahead.
I was like, so like, how did you like get into that?
How did you develop a foot fetish, may I ask?
Like, listen, who knows? I've never met a man with a foot fetish.
I haven't either.
Besides, I've never met this man, so I still haven't met a man with a foot fetish. I've spoken to someone that has a foot fetish, but my point is, I feel like everyone jokes about foot fetishes. Like, it's like an ongoing joke with everyone where you're like, oh, you like feet.
Yeah, but you've never actually like encountered.
Right. So I was like, did something happen to you? Like, you stepped on as a child? Like, was there trauma there? And like, that's what caused your foot fetish? I don't know. Like, did you go to the beach? Like, well, what happened? How did we get here?
Mm-hmm. How did he get here?
I don't know.
Oh.
He never answered that. But what he did send me was the end of the conversation, which was a very detailed explanation and links to things that he was into with feet.
Oh, no. Like what? No?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Just a smidge. Just a little. Give us just a little.
I think the easiest way to describe it is it wasn't even that it was a foot fetish that was so bad. It was the fact that he was a submissive with the foot fetish.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No need to explain any further.
No. And anything that you're thinking, just make it a little bit worse, and that's probably where it was at. It was not good. It was not good. And I was like, I'm done. I'm not, like, sorry, like, you're very nice. We're not meeting up. It can't do it. It was not good. So I was like, that's it. We're done. So there's a funny thing. Speaking of why you want people to get in contact with me, is that so anyone that I no longer speak to, whether that's a date, just a person that I no longer speak to in my life, whether it's a friend that's not a friend anymore, whoever, they end up in the graveyard. So I feel like most people block people, but my thing is, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to find a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's like blocking someone.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like, oh, like a message didn't go through, you're like, you blocked me?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to like try and stalk my Instagram, but whatever. No. So instead, I just add you to the graveyard. And that just means that I delete your name and your photo from my phone, and it's just 3 little headstone emojis. So that way, if you ever text me at all, get it. But I'm like, I don't know who you are.
And I know not to respond.
Right. But I needed to know. I needed to know if this man in particular reached out. So his contact is 3 gravestones and a foot.
A foot.
A foot.
A singular foot.
A singular foot.
3 gravestones and a foot.
Mm-hmm. And he did for almost a year.
No.
Yes.
Saying what? Asking for feet pics?
No. Whatever happened to our date?
Oh my gosh.
Like I really wanted to meet you. Just like, this is how it is. Like,
wow, your feet must be really cute then.
So to someone who wasn't in a foot fetish position, is a foot fetish a deal breaker or just odd to tell someone before a first date?
I mean, for me, I think that's, I don't mean to judge. I don't want to sound like a bitch, but that'd probably be a deal breaker for me.
I don't know. And like, I feel like this may be controversial, but like, it could be worse. Like, there are worse things to be into than feet. Don't ask me examples, but there are worse things.
No, I get it, but I feel if I were in a relationship and someone got set off by my feet, I would feel uncomfortable.
You would always be in socks?
Always.
I think what made it worse was the fact that it wasn't just like toes. And like, I know that sounds weird because like, but I think men's feet are like mostly ugly. And I don't say that to be mean, but they just don't take care of their feet the same way that women do. And like, we get like our toes painted, like our feet look cute if you take care of them. And like, I could understand a man being like, oh, like a girl has cute feet, like that I can get. But like, I want to wait. Let me get to the end of my thought here. I want to understand where the attraction is to the soles of the feet. Like, what about why the soles?
Yeah, again, there's a difference. If I were to come home from a pedicure and my fiance said, oh, that looks really cute. Great. Thank you so much.
Right.
If I were to come home from a pedicure and he said, damn, that looks hot, let's go upstairs, that would send me.
Imagine.
That would send me, Brie. No.
Oh my Oh my God. Yeah, no.
There's no nice way to go about it.
No.
Like, there's no understanding. Like,
It's a deal breaker.
you're either the same type of person or you're not. And I'm just not. That's not for me.
Oh. So yeah.
Wasn't this like early on in your
My dating
app experience?
Yes, relatively early.
What an experience for you.
Well, the next story is actually the first date I ever went on a dating app.
Oh, okay.
This one was an overall negative 10 out of 10. Do not recommend. It was my first time on the apps. And he was nice. We were like FaceTiming all the time. Like, it was cool. Like, the conversation was good. Great. He was like, let's meet up. I said, okay, no problem. He went to school at the same school that I did, just at different times. So we were talking about that. So he was like, let's head out over there because I live relatively close and you do as well. I said, great, no problem. So he was like, you know, I know where we're going. And we were going to this place. It's a place, like an actual place. You had to buy tickets to get in type of thing, but it's like an abandoned Navy bunker or something like that.
Like, it was an attraction.
It was like an attraction, yeah. Mm-hmm. I wasn't just going to like random abandoned places with men I don't know. And so he's like, meet me at the Barnes & Noble over there and I'll drive us. And I was like, okay, like I didn't really want to like drive to an abandoned, like I didn't know what I was walking into. So if he knew where it was, like I was like, great, whatever. Wrong. Just
incorrect
for sure.
Don't do that.
No. Always drive your own car. I think it's weird. Like, why? I don't know you. I met you on the internet. Isn't that the whole thing that you're not supposed to do? Like, you don't meet people on the internet. But now that's like our whole dating. Whatever. Back to the plot. Mm-hmm. So we go and we're talking. We're walking around, and you know everything's very nice, cool, whatever. And we're walking on like this beach, and he looks at me, and well, wait. Prior to this, he like keeps like playfully hitting me, which is fine. But like it's progressively getting like harder and harder, like to the point that like he's hitting me and I'm moving. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, sir,
I'm getting annoyed.
You need to stop hitting me. We're gonna have a problem. Mm-hmm. So then we're walking on this like beach part of this place, and he looks at me. He goes, "What would you do if I try to kill you right now?"
Come again?
Sir, I would be dead. What
kind of question is that?
So I took a deep breath and I went, try your hardest. I wish you the best of luck. So again, if you haven't been tuning in, I'm a 4th degree black belt. I have trained martial arts for the last 20 years. I taught for 10. So I can handle myself. But like, who asks that
on a first date?
In general, even on a 6th date, would that be okay?
I feel like with my true crime, like, this is so, I don't even know, but I also asked my fiance this on multiple occasions.
Are you a serial killer?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
And I have asked, like, are you going to kill me, or are you just pretending? Like, so maybe on a 6th date or whatever, like, he's asked me, like, oh, what if I just killed you right now? Actually, I don't think he's ever asked me that.
That's why, like, it's different for, like, a girl to be like, oh, are you a serial killer?
Yeah, I've asked.
But to be asked?
Yeah. Strange.
Beyond strange. So I was done. After this, the man continued hitting me. He, like, kicked me a couple times. I was like, what is happening? Like, do you want to fight, sir?
And just let me know. We can schedule that. But are we on a date, or are we on a fighting match?
And listen, if like we had a conversation prior and we're fighting and like you're joking around, like that's the premise of what this is, and like you're trying to bring, it's fine, different. But if we've never had that conversation and now you're just randomly hitting and kicking me, and then you're like, I could beat you up. So you're fucking 6'2". You're 6'2", and I am 5'3" and a girl. Is this some accomplishment that I don't know of? Like, What?
Like, yeah, you probably could. Do you want a cookie?
Actually, he couldn't, but it's fine. No, he really couldn't.
But also, like, he shouldn't be so, like, yeah, I could beat you up. Like, that's not a good look.
Right. Like, are you trying to tell me I'm going to be a DV survivor if I get into this relationship? Like, just tell me now.
Right. Like, is this a kink that you have that I need to know about?
I had so many and at this point I was done. Like, if I had my car, I would have left. But I didn't. So we finished there and he was like, all right, how about we grab some dinner? I was like, I'm really tired. He was like, it'll be quick. Like, there's a Tommy's, like, right around the corner. I said, okay, fine. We go to Tommy's, and it just gets progressively worse. Like, it's just, there was no point in this day that I felt like he, like, saved it at all.
So he did not redeem himself.
No. So we go to dinner, and I'm sitting there. Have you ever almost fallen asleep at dinner on a date?
I can't say that I have.
I have.
Oh.
I was fighting to keep my eyes open. He ranted for the entire dinner about how his father does not know how to speak to people. His father is rude to, like, wait staff and all of that. And I was like, you should probably address that with him.
Go to
Not
therapy.
Me. Yes, go do that. Go talk to someone. It's a good thing. So then at this point, I was like, all right, like, it's time. Like, I'm done. Let's go home. So he's driving me back to my car, and I'm in the passenger seat, and he is ranting. Like, I mean, full-on spiel about how he hates when he goes out to dinner with someone and pays for dinner, and then they don't go on a second date with him.
After that's exactly what's about to happen.
As he's saying this in my head, I'm like, this man will never see me again. Ever. Ever.
And he paid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my other thing. Listen. I don't think there are any men listening to this. If there are, listen, you don't want to pay on a first date, no problem. It's gonna show whoever you're on a date with exactly how you show up in a relationship. That's all. It's completely fine, whichever way you do, but don't be upset when, you know, the other side is either not in agreement or they're like, you know, that's a little weird. Personally, I've paid for first dates, I've split first dates, and I've been paid for on first dates. I think, personally, a man should pick up the tab on the first date.
Mm-hmm.
I am extremely uncomfortable when people buy me things. That means even a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So it will literally be fighting every urge in my body to not pay. But it's like, it shows that, like, you want to take care of someone. And if you are like, and I offer, I don't know about everybody else, but I offer. I'm like, oh, no, like, I got her. I could split it, like, whatever. And if you tell me, no, I got it, don't be mad if you don't see me again. You decided you wanted to pay.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever. So this date was just overall not great. And then the man kissed like a lizard. It was...
Ew.
It was so bad. It was so bad. It was not. It was... This is my first date ever. And I wholeheartedly wanted to delete all the apps and be single. I was like, this is it. I'm going to find a serial killer and just die.
I'm just curious. Like, what was he expecting your response to be?
Couldn't tell you.
Like, was he about to be like, what would you do if I killed you? And you would be like, that's so hot that turns me on. Take me home. Like, you'd be dead. You would be dead if he tried to get, you'd be dead.
Unless that's his thing.
Exactly. But he didn't. So, like, what was the point?
I don't know. I don't get it. My other thought was, if I had drove myself, would he have been comfortable enough to still say that?
I think so. Because he also went on that whole tangent about paying for the first date and not getting a second. So he clearly has no awareness or, you know, whatever about his surroundings and social situations. So, like, I think he still would have said it even if you took your own car.
Who does that?
Maybe he's a serial killer in training. And he was just trying to,
an apprentice.
He was an apprentice, and he was just trying to catch the vibe.
It's like, oh.
Like, maybe next time he just, like, wouldn't have asked.
Like, my whole thought is, one, if you're going to do it, why did you ask me?
Why did you ask?
And two, if you're not going to do it, why did you ask me?
Right.
And three, like, is this supposed to be a play on the fact that I did karate and, like, whatever? And you're like, oh, like,
show me your moves.
Right.
But that's weird.
Why not just say that? Right. I would rather you be like, oh, so you're so tough, you know, like, and like make a joke that way.
Yeah.
But what would you do if I tried to kill? What the fuck is this, Dateline? Oh my! It was bad. It was so
That's
not
a rough
okay.
one.
It was not good.
I'm so glad I was never asked what I would do because I'd probably just drop dead.
What would you do if I tried to kill?
What would you do if I tried to boom in the nuts?
You moved and it scared me. I wasn't expecting you to punch the air.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm just thinking, like, if I were in that situation, what I would do, because, again, like, my growing up on Criminal Minds brain,
okay,
I would immediately react, and not in a good way, I think.
You know, honestly, I think I just, like, still was processing the question.
You were like, what?
Like, because think about, like, talking about it, you can laugh, and you're like, oh, that's, like, kind of funny. But if someone were to actually ask you and you're in that position, you're like, one, he's actually either going to try to kill me, or two, what the fuck? And, like, either way, there's no guidebook on how to answer that question.
No.
All right. And this is the story that I think everyone's been waiting for. If you know me, you're definitely been waiting for me to talk about this. If you don't, if you listened to Red vs. Green Flags, I think was the episode, and I hinted at a really, really crazy story from a date, it's this one. And we actually have something super exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about it?
Yes. We will be doing a giveaway for anyone that can top this story. So that means you guys have to send in your stories to our email, or you can text us on our website. Our email is chatmbtea@gmail.com. It'll be linked below. Mm-hmm. Send in your craziest date story. And if you top this one, we will be sending you something. So, shall we?
Okay. So, I'm really It's such a good story, though. It's funny.
It's funny now. It was not funny at the time. For me,
I thought it was a little funny at the time.
I know you did, because you're over there. I remember distinctly. I was at my brother's house. I think I was dog sitting, and you called me and you told me about the first date. And I was like, ma'am. Because then you said you wanted to go on a second date. And I said, ma'am. She gives me agita.
Yeah. But I keep you young.
You do. You keep things interesting, and I'm appreciative of them. I just want you to stay alive.
That's usually number one. It's the only priority I have at the moment.
All right, well.
I know. Okay. So I met this man
on a dating app.
On an app. And he was very much my type. Me and Mish have very different types. Let's preface with that, okay? Mm-hmm. Mish likes...
my fiance.
Yes. Exactly. I like someone that looks like the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like through and through. Think about every movie you've ever watched. Think about the villain. That's probably my type. Tall, large, tattoos. That's usually the type of person that I end up liking. I don't know what it is. It's just, I like tattoos. I like the gym. It works. I don't know. This man was the embodiment of all of that. So we go on this first date. Had a really nice time. We went to Yestercades, hung out, grabbed some food, grabbed a drink. We're sitting, talking the whole time. And then as the date was like winding down, we started going a little deeper, and he started telling me about pretty much all, like, he trauma dumped like everything. And it was heavy. Like it was definitely heavy. And I felt for him. And, you know, he actively was in therapy and believed in it. So I was like, okay, you know, you're actively working on yourself. Like, cool. There were red flags. There was a lot of red flags. I should have been like, it was very nice meeting you. Thank you so much. Next.
But alas,
I did not.
that was not the case.
No.
This dumbass decides to go on a second date.
I did. And so so if you are listening, please just go check out the YouTube, because truly the reactions to this is priceless. But I go on this second date and we're talking, you know, whatever. I get there and he's like, so how do you feel about drugs?
How do I feel about drugs? Can you elaborate?
I was like, I mean, I don't do them, but I don't judge. And he was like, oh, okay. Proceeds to pull out, you know, the metal whipped cream canisters?
Mm-hmm.
Pulls one out and does a whippet. If you don't know what a whippet is, if you ever had like a whipped cream can and you like push the top in, but don't flip the can over, so it's just the air and it makes your head feel funny, that's a whippet. Does a whippet. And then looks at me in my eyes and goes, yeah, you know, the reason I ask is every year on my birthday, I do meth. What? You do what?
This is times 3. Come again?
Excuse the fuck out of me. What?
Elaborate?
I was like, and how do you respond to that?
How did you respond to that?
I was like, so, okay. How did you get into that? I mean, I knew because of the first date, but
Wait, so you knew that he did meth?
No, but like after everything from the first date, okay. I could understand, right, why meth would be an option, but it
not like
no
pot or coke or
like, again, like I could understand a little bit more because like those are more like I feel like normalized within society, but like meth is like meth.
I mean, I think like coke is coke too.
Yeah, but like coke's like a party drug, I feel like, as well.
Fair. It's like what you see in the movies with like the rich whatever partying.
Like, I think of like a rich frat boy, like in a club somewhere, like just like
snorting coke.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That went from one extreme to the other so fast.
That's just what comes to mind.
So, but I had questions like, one, where do you get meth? Not because I actively want to participate, but
are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you trying to make a birthday tradition?
Nope. I have enough of those, and no.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's not like weed or coke or whatever. Like I've never in my life bought drugs, so I like. What do you like text the plug? Do you call them?
Plug.
Do you show up and you're like, hey, I'd like some meth? Like, what do you do?
Did you ask him?
No, because I felt like it would be rude.
I would have liked to know.
I would have too.
Can you ask next time?
I hope there's not a next time.
But if there is, can you just ask? Can you find out? Because we need it for the plot.
Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, I was like, all right, like I gotta go, whatever. I left. Fine. We ended up, I was like, okay, like, I don't think this is going to work. He's like, I don't either. You know, I really need to just focus on myself right now. I was like, I agree. You know,
Preach.
you. Fabulous. It didn't end bad. Like, it was fine. But I did accidentally give Misha a heart attack throughout all of this while I found out this man does meth. If you would like to elaborate. Disassociated.
Okay. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I understand that, and I'm sorry, but it's hard not to. You can disagree, you can judge me for it, but it's the truth, and I think more people do it than they admit. So I saw this man. He's large. He has tattoos neck to toe. And you could take one look at him and realize that he could mess you up. And that's exactly the thought that went through my head.
That's why I went on the date.
Which is fine when you respond to me that you are safe.
Sorry.
But you did not do that.
I didn't mean to.
She goes on this second date and I ask her to text me when she gets there. And, a couple times I check in to make sure that she's okay. But she does not respond to me. And I have her location in like this strip mall type spot where I don't know where it is. She's not responding. I'm calling her like a lunatic. I'm texting her like a lunatic and she's not answering me. I am on my way to my parents' house with my fiance having a full-blown mental breakdown, thinking that I'm about to have to call the cops and her mother and tell her that she's dead and the cops found her body in a dumpster. Okay?
Misha's head gets very dark very fast.
Very, very dark, very, very fast. I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's just, when you grow up watching Criminal Minds and listening to all the true crime podcasts, it's just where your brain automatically goes.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not responding to me. We get to my parents' house. My brother's there. My parents had just gotten back from a trip. We picked up sushi to have lunch with them. And I'm still having a full-blown mental breakdown. My dad's laughing at me because he's like, she's fine. My brother's like, you're actually insane. And I'm just like, you guys don't understand what this man looks like. If you saw a picture, you would understand. Like, he could kill her whilst, like, with snapping her in half. And it'll be like snapping a pretzel. So I was panicking. And I'm calling and calling, and my brother was like, why don't I try to call her? And I'm like, well, I've been calling her for the past hour, and she hasn't responded to me. What makes you think she's going to pick up your phone call?
So, to clarify, what had happened was, I had my phone on this little, like, thing in the middle, like, in the center console, and it holds it. And when I got out of my car, I never took my phone with me. I forgot and didn't think about it.
Oh, you just forgot to take your phone.
I didn't mean to.
Well, what about me?
I'm sorry.
Wait,
okay.
were you not thinking about my feelings?
Well, the thing was, he like came around, he opened my door, like I was like, oh, and like I kind of just like grabbed my bag and got out. So like I didn't even think about grabbing my phone, and then we're sitting there, and then this conversation happened. Didn't even think about any of it because I was talking. So when I got back in the car, I'm getting a phone call. I'm like, oh my gosh, my phone was here the whole time. I pick up the phone. I think it's Misha's fiance, and I'm like, because they answer and they're like, Bree? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you need to talk to Mish right now.
No, I don't think I think he just said, Bree, are you okay? And you said, yeah. And he was like, are you okay?
Yes.
And you were like, yeah. Why? Or like, who is
why?
this?
Right.
Or something. And he just hands me the phone. As soon as she's not on speaker. He's just like, the phone is to his ear. And I just look at him and he goes, Bree, and I'm like, no way this bitch just picked up his phone call and not mine. I was pissed. He hands me the phone. I'm like, you bitch. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I've been calling you for God knows how long, thinking that you're dead. You can't do me the courtesy of picking up the phone, but you answer my brother's phone call? You whore?
I was like, I'm so sorry I left my phone in the car. I didn't even know you called. And she was like, yeah, you left your phone in the car? That's not normal. What if he tried to kill you? And I was like, I'm
literally about to leave the house to go to your location. I do. My dad was like convincing me to like calm down, but I was like, no, I need to go. Like, I need to go. I need to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That doesn't do me anything now.
I know, but I am sorry. I didn't mean to cause you stress. I love you.
I love you too. Don't do that again.
I haven't. I've been pretty good.
You have been pretty good. And I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Now, when I text her, I'm like, are you okay? She'll be like, yes, I'm good. But then I'm like, but that could be him texting me.
Oh my God. This complete side note, not related. Wasn't even planning on telling this today. I went on a date and I gave Alice some some anxiety by me going on this date. And I got a series of texts that I'm going to read to you because I didn't realize what they were until after. And she realized had that exact thought, like it could be them responding. So I texted her and she texts me, goes, "Hi." And then I didn't see it, so I didn't respond. It's like an hour later, she goes, "What Halloween costume did you wear our first Halloween together?" I was like, "Hi, I have no idea." She goes, "No stress. What is Thomas's girlfriend's name? What did you name your bird of paradise plant?" And I was like, "What? William?" And I'm not going to name my brother's girlfriend, but I was like, "Excuse me?" And then the next morning, I sent her a picture. I was like, "I'm alive and well. What was with the weird questions?" And she was like, "I had to make sure it was you responding."
Yeah. So you do keep us young.
I keep you on the verge of a heart attack.
Always.
It's okay. It's for the plot.
I'm so glad you think so.
Okay, in all fairness, I'm definitely much more aware now. This was like years ago, and I was a little more chaotic than I am now. I definitely think I've mellowed out a bit in my old age.
You're 25.
Yeah, I know. I wake up and I feel like an old lady, so I feel like it qualifies.
I'm sitting here and I feel like an old lady. My back is killing me.
I feel that. I really do. So just, quick little back and forth rapid fire to keep life interesting. You're going to answer these because I feel like I've done most of the talking today. If a man said astrology is fake, but also called his ex-girlfriend a witch, what would you characterize that as? Do you think it's just bad, concerning, or run?
I would say that's concerning.
Right, like you believe in witches, but you don't believe in astrology?
Right. And also, like, why are you calling your ex a witch?
Mm.
And in the same breath saying, you don't, like, they go together.
It's contradictory.
Right. Like, that's I wouldn't say it's like a run type of thing, but it's just like, that's contradictory. What else is there going to be?
I'm reading the next couple and I'm crying.
Okay, go.
If he asked you to split the bill, but then Venmo requested you $2 for parking.
If he asks you to split the bill?
You're sitting at the table, you're paying, and then he asks you to split the bill, you split the bill. You leave, date ends, and he Venmo requests you $2 to split half of parking.
No, thank you. I will never see you again.
Run.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. Because you know what? Chances are he probably picked the spot.
Mm-hmm.
In which case you knew that you were going to have to pay for parking.
Right.
So if you wanted to go somewhere,
you didn't have to pay.
That you did, right. And you didn't want to pay for parking, don't pick a place where you have to pay for parking.
Right.
I can understand wanting to split the bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that I, like you were saying, that I would personally be like, green flag.
Right. It's a beige flag. It's not a bad thing. That's not a good thing
because I
either.
can also understand, like, guys are in the same or similar spot that we are, like, going on dates. And if they're expected to pay every single first date, that can add up
100%.
And I get that. On the other hand, though, you don't have to go to dinner on a first date every time. Go get a $5 cup of coffee.
Yes.
Like, it's there's a lot there that we can probably talk about for a while. So, but then to, like, also Venmo request $2 for parking.
Are we gonna nickel and dime everything?
If parking was $4, right? Like, if he's asking you to split it parking in half, and he drove, or did they go together?
I would assume so. If they
went together,
yeah.
Okay. So say they're splitting parking. Parking is total $4.
Mm-mm.
$4 of parking has to be at least 3 hours at this place.
My other thing is, like, if anything's like under $50, I'm not asking you to split it.
Right.
Like, and I'm just talking about like just us. Like, if it's like under 50, it's even over $50. I'm like, don't worry about it. I get it.
Right.
You know,
but we have that, like, we each go like in a circle. Right. But my point is, if you're on this date for at least 3 to 4 hours and you're still asking why, that, like, a 3-hour date is a long time, which means like you had to have vibed at some point to then ask for $2 more.
Like, come on, like, just eat the $2.
Then it's just like, no, you're a dick.
Literally.
Sorry.
Okay. Last one. He told you reminded him of his mom in a romantic way.
Run for the hills. Run so fast that you feel like you're floating.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, I don't think I need to go into detail about that.
No.
Just run.
No. So to kind of like recap everything, I guess this episode has kind of turned into a Breeze How Not to Die on a Date starter pack. Text your friends, share your location, send screenshots of their profile, and if you have like any social media, screenshots of that as well with a clear picture of their face, their phone number.
If you can snag their license plate,
yeah, that is
social security, address.
I'm pushing that a little bit.
I would appreciate the effort next time.
I deeply apologize. I don't typically go on dates and be like, "Can I have a picture of your social security card for my best friend?" She needs it.
I don't think it's a weird ask. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, just be aware, be conscious. Drive yourself. Do not get in a stranger's car, whether you are vibing with them over text or not. You never know.
I also think don't have them pick you up at your house for the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's okay if they live far and, like, they come to you or whatever, but you meet somewhere. But, like, in today's day and age, this is not, like, even early 2000s where, you know, dating apps and catfishing and all of that was, like, maybe don't do that.
I think the other part of it is, like, a couple years ago, like, even, I want to say 5-10 years ago, it was very different. Like, the dating scene, it's like, you know, you were going out with like a friend of a friend, or like you met someone out and like you knew who they were as a person because you were out and you met them and you're talking. But like, this is so
someone
different.
that you knew or knows them.
Right. Like it was always someone that was somehow interconnected some way, somehow. Or you met them and like actually met them face to face from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, you don't know who's sitting on the other side of the phone that you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Just like be aware and trust your gut. If you're like, this is not going well, I need to leave, then leave.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't get yourself killed, please.
If you are dating currently in today's day and age, I give you props. I feel the struggle. It's interesting. And good luck. Stay safe. I mean, that's all I really got. I really hope you guys were entertained with my wild dating stories. And seriously, please send in your story, because if you top my story, we want to send you gifts.
And also, just a little early announcement for you guys. We will be releasing a Craziest First Date episode listener edition on June 5th. So send in your stories by May 24th, so we have them to read, and that'll be so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
cannot wait. And yeah, the one that tops Bree's Meth Man story will get a surprise package. Yay! We will announce what the gift is, what the prize is, once we start receiving stories. So that's your incentive to start sending them in. We can't wait to read them, listen. As always, we thank you for listening and or watching. You can email us, like I mentioned before, at chatmbt@gmail.com. You can also find our Instagram, which is where we will announce what the prize or gift, whatever is. Our Instagram is Chat MBTea, and our YouTube is also Chat MBTea. Everything is linked below. Check it out. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.